A deer is trapped in barbed wire. Blood is dripping down its leg. Each struggle causes the wire to cut deeper into its flesh. Just then, a man appears. Instinctively, the deer should run. For wild animals, humans are often synonymous with danger, but it doesn't run. It stands still, watching the man approach and letting him touch its leg. This is the strange part. Not only deer, whales, dolphins, stingrays, and wild elephants have also actively approached humans when injured. Do they truly understand that we can save them? Or are they simply too exhausted to resist? Watch until the end, because the final detail might completely change your answer. If you believe the deer was actively seeking help, comment 1. If you think it was simply exhausted and unable to run, comment 0. The man approached very slowly. He covered the deer's eyes with a cloth and used pliers to cut through the steel rings. The deer didn't understand what the pliers were. It also didn't know the man was performing a rescue. But it could recognize a very simple rule. When it struggled, the pain increased. When it stood still, the pressure around its legs began to decrease. It didn't need to understand kindness, it just needed to realize that not resisting gave it a higher chance of survival. When the last steel ring was cut, the deer immediately dashed into the forest. No turning back. No thank you. There was no touching moment like in the movies. But the fact that a wild animal temporarily stopped being afraid of humans was extremely unusual. Off the coast of Hawaii, divers have encountered manta rays with hooks stuck in their gills or fishing lines wrapped around their bodies. Instead of fleeing, some would swim slowly downwards. They would hover in front of the divers, then turn the injured part toward the human hand. Dolphins have also approached boats with fishing lines wrapped around their fins. They would float near the surface and keep their bodies stable long enough for people to notice the problem. Don't jump to conclusions that they are talking to us. But don't play dumb and dismiss it as a coincidence either. An animal swimming by might be random, but it's standing still and repeatedly turning the injured part toward a human is behavior that's hard to ignore. And the story gets even stranger when some animals return to the exact spot that saved them years ago. In some African reserves, rangers have recorded injured elephants actively approaching their vehicles. A mature elephant is strong enough to overturn a vehicle. But instead of attacking, it slows down and stands just meters away from the rangers. Some of these elephants were treated by humans when they were young. Years later, when they are injured again, they seek out the same method. They may not remember the exact face of their rescuer, but they can remember the sound of the vehicle, the smell of the human, and the outcome of the previous encounter. Last time, these creatures came closer. Last time, the pain disappeared, and last time, they survived. This is called associative learning. The animal associates a signal with an outcome. If you enjoy true stories about animal intelligence, subscribe to the channel, because the next story involves a creature that can kill a person with just a flick of its tail. In 2005, near the Farallon Islands, a humpback whale became entangled in more than 20 ropes attached to crab traps. The ropes were wrapped around its fins and cut deep into its skin. Hundreds of kilograms of equipment pulled it underwater. The group of divers approached the whale with curved knives. Just a panic and a thrashing of its tail could have cost a person their life. But the whale remained almost still. The divers cut each rope from its body. When freed, it didn't immediately swim away. It turned around, swam around the rescue team, and gently approached each person. Many believe the whale was thanking them, but the truth is, we can't know exactly what it was thinking. And this is where emotions can easily deceive us. Humans like to attribute their own emotions to animals. A deer looks at its rescuer, and we say it's pleading. A whale turns around, and we say it's thanking. An elephant stands near a vehicle, and we say it's remembering its rescuer. That might be true, but it's also possible the deer is simply motionless out of fear. The whale might just be surveying its environment after being untied. The elephant might be too weak to continue moving. Not every touching video online tells the whole truth. Many clips have added music, narration, and unverifiable conclusions. So the smartest way to look at it is to consider both possibilities. Some animals might recognize humans as a chance of survival, but we don't necessarily know how deeply they understand the situation. Perhaps animals seek out humans for 3 reasons. First, desperation. When their current choice almost certainly leads to death, they are forced to try a new option. Second, memory. If humans have helped them before, they may remember that not every contact is dangerous. Third, intelligence. Some species are flexible enough to temporarily overcome the urge to flee and wait to see what happens. Do they truly trust us? Perhaps not in the way humans understand trust. But in those brief moments, they made a decision. Not to run, not to attack. To stand still and wait. And sometimes, that decision saves their lives. Behind every beautiful rescue lies a cruel truth. With each deer freed from the fence, many others may die unnoticed. For every whale rescued, countless other marine creatures remain trapped in fishing nets. Wild animals are not obligated to trust humans. They have too many reasons to fear us. That's why the moment they choose to stay is so special. After hearing the whole story, which answer would you choose? Comment 1 if you believe some animals can actively seek humans for help. Comment 0 if you think it's just a reaction of pain, fear, or exhaustion. I'd like to see more 1s or 0s.